Good day, and welcome to another one of Drew's book reviews. So today's book is The Desert Spear by Peter V. Brett. So this is the second book in the Demon Cycle series, or the first book, The Warded Man, dealt particularly with the main character Arlen, who eventually became the Warded Man. This one, however, focuses on Jardir, which is the leader of the desert people to the south, rather than the North Greenlands as they're referred to. He has proclaimed himself the Shar Dama Ka, which essentially means the deliverer, the one prophesied to unite the people to fight the demon hordes which ravaged the land. So he's worked his way up through the chain of command and united all the tribes of his people into a single unified fighting force to defeat the demon plague which ravages the lands throughout the night. So Jardir here is the leader of Krassian Society, which is the name of the peoples that he is a part of and their leader. The Krassian Society is in fact divided into essentially two different castes or levels of society. You've got the Dal Sharum, which are the warrior caste society. These are considered honorable people. These are considered people that are superior and all to everyone else in society, essentially. To be anything but a Dal Sharum is to be the lowest of the low in society, or labeled as it's commonly called a kafit, which essentially means that you are subpar. You're essentially no better than a slave. Though while not slaves in practice, they're treated no better than a slave society, being slaves, the underclass, the working poor, even though some are very successful in their professions. Some can be very rich as a kafit, but still despised and looked down upon by society, as this society is a culture of warriors who dream of getting glory and honor through the battle with the demons. So their entire religion is based around this fight with the demons and their god that they worship, Ivja, which is the name of their religion, as well as the god in which they fight for. In a way, their culture and their religion remind me a lot of more of a Middle Eastern Islamic type society where the women are kind of subservient to the men in a lot of ways. Polygamy is a very common practice. In fact, Jardir, our leader, has essentially 15 wives. But even the wives have a pecking order within this relationship, with the first wife is down all the way to the 15th, where the first wife has dominance over all the other wives in the relationship. Now, Nerva is the first wife of Jardir, and she is a Dama Ting, which essentially is an order of Krassian holy women who also serve as healers and midwives, but in a way they're also kind of sorcerers and witches. She carves and controls these dice made from demon bones, which forecast the future and prophesy of what is to come. And she uses that. And her position as Dama Ting, as well as first wife, gives her tremendous influence over Jardir and what he is doing, the wars that he's planning, the fights that he's going into. He is in a way controlled by her. As I once heard it put, the man may be the head, but the woman is the neck, and she could turn him any way she wants. That is essentially what Nerva, his first wife, does. He's controlling her, or controlling him, and manipulating him in subtle ways. In fact, she is responsible in a way for getting him into the position that he is. Now, he is considered the deliverer, the prophesied one, the one that will lead and unite them all, but he's got a bit of a challenger, which is, of course, the Warded Man, which he views as this threat to his power, this threat to his position as the one who will unite the world under Evrim, or Ivja's rule, which in a way kind of reminds me of holy war, jihad, in which all the rest of the world is viewed as infidels, and they must bow and submit to his authority and his religion, or else they shall be killed and slaughtered or enslaved. So very much a holy war, these people coming out of the desert, invading and conquering the rest of the land. And the warded man, he doesn't want to be the deliverer. He never asked for it, but he's constantly, everywhere he goes, he's being praised as the warded man, as the deliverer come to unite humanity. He's constantly saying, I'm not the deliverer. In fact, I really kind of like him because he's more of a, I say, more of an atheist. He doesn't believe in any of the religions. Yeah, his view on this whole idea of there being a God is just like absolutely ridiculous. He can't believe that a God would curse humanity with all these terrible demons haunting them in the night. So he's constantly saying, I'm not the deliverer. Stop worshiping me as the deliverer. I'm not the deliverer. I'm just a man trying to fight off the demons so that people could live in peace. And one aspect I really like about this is the system of magic. It's all about words, or written words, in our shields, in our weapons, in our structures. Even some towns and cities have been laid out in their street patterns in the shape of these written words or words, which put up this shield of protection against demonkind, which I think is really awesome. It's often said that the pen is mightier than the sword, meaning that the power of our words, both written and spoken, can have a dramatic effect on our environment, on our lives, on the people that we associate, and influence others to a great degree. And in a way, this kind of plays off that idea that words have power to change the world, power to protect against evil, power to defend that which threatens us in our home, and to put up that shield and protection. And even within our own society, in a way, we use the power of words to dictate the rules of how society operates. This could be seen in laws, in legislation, which really is just words written on paper, voted on by people who are voting on words who speak the words. It all comes down to the power and authority behind those words to protect us, to either enforce our will or to protect against those who would enforce their will against us. And the word of man, because he's got all this all over his body. He's tattooed himself with these words, but at great cost, and that he's really no longer human, and that because these words have the power to protect him, but also fight off the demons, he's absorbed some of that demon soul or demon magic every time he kills a demon, and he's slowly becoming more and more demon and less human, to the point where he's really lost himself. He doesn't know how much farther he can go, and he's trying desperately to maintain his humanity, but he also wants to fight off these demons and destroy and rid the world of demonkind, but at the cost of becoming demon himself. So this contrast that he's going through and dealing with is just awesome. I love the way it's portrayed in this book, in this series. I love the way where you really start to feel for the character and know that his struggle is just. What he's doing is great and good, but the sacrifice he's making is one that kind of tears his soul apart. And that, to me, is just really, really amazing. And we kind of see this kind of concept in others throughout the book series as well. There's this character named Lisha who joins the warded man in his fight and starts to learn and basically become his apprentice, which he never wanted to begin with, but he's reluctantly accepted the fact that this is what she's wanting to do. She also, as a character, is kind of tragic. She's a character that was severely abused and raped by her father, and she's really become distrusting of everybody and everything, and she's just kind of, it seems to me, she's using this fight against demonkind as a way to escape the torture of her youth. And she is heading down the same path that the warded man has. Despite his warnings, she refuses to let go of that. And it'll be interesting to see how her character progresses throughout this series of books, and whether or not she herself has the same effect on her as fighting these demons and warding her body with tattoos has the same effect on her as it has the warded man. So that'll be really interesting to see, and I'm really looking forward to continuing this series. So up next, well, before we get to up next, I will say that this is a fantastic book, highly recommended, and I really think that you should take a look into this. Read it and enjoy it. Really great book. I would definitely give this easily 9 out of 10 bookworms. Absolutely enjoying this series. Probably one of the better fantasy series that I've read. Absolutely love it. Up next, we have The Daylight War, which will be the third book in the Demon Cycle series. So this will be a really good one to read. And as I'm sure the other ones are, it's said that book 2 was better than book 1. And they're right. Book 2 is definitely better than book 1. We'll see if book 3 is better than book 2. I know it's about a 5-book series. Haven't got the rest yet, but I definitely will be. As always, thanks for watching. And thanks for visiting my site and watching my videos. As always, you can view and look at other reviews on my website at andrewsbookreviews.wordpress.com. Thanks again for tuning in, and looking forward to the next review.